Jenny Moorhead decided on a career in real estate when she was just 17 years old. Now, after more than 30 years in the business, she's a successful broker at her own agency, leading a group of 70 agents from her office in Fort Myers. We talked to Jenny about what it takes to reach this level and how to stay there through the good times and the bad. You won't want to miss a single word, so start listening right now.
You're listening to The Royal Palmcast, the show about all things real estate. From the production studios of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association in Fort Myers, Florida, here's your host, Jim Sanville.
Welcome to the Royal Palmcast. I'm Jim Sanville, and we're here to talk about real estate, every aspect of it. If realtors, home buyers, and home sellers care about it, we want to cover it. I'm here today in the studios of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association in beautiful, sunny Fort Myers, Florida. I'm here today with our board op and director of marketing and communications, Jerry Johnson. Jerry, hi.
Hey, Jim, that's me. Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. And you know what? Got a little spring in my step, and that's because the clocks have sprung for daylight savings time.
Did that mess your sleep up at all?
A little bit. It usually takes me about a week to acclimate, but, good times ahead.
Yeah.
Because now we got those extended afternoons in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida, as you tend to say every time we open the show, which is awesome, because that is what we're all about here.
Well, it is beautiful. It is sunny. I don't think there's any argument here, right?
Yeah. And I am looking forward to yet another exciting topic as we enter the wonderful world of brokers, the heart of the association.
Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Hope I didn't step on the line. But
No. So anyway, without further delay, let me introduce you to our guest, and her name is Jenny Moorhead. Welcome, Jenny.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. We're glad you could come in. Jenny is a real estate broker, and she's affiliated with Cornerstone Coastal Properties of Fort Myers. You're the broker owner at Cornerstone, correct?
I am correct. Thank you.
Yeah. How long have you been at Cornerstone?
I opened the office about 13 years ago.
And you've been around Fort Myers real estate for a few years beyond that.
Yes, I've been a broker in Southwest Florida now for 35 years.
Wow.
I started when I was 10.
Yeah, judging by, the math isn't quite working for me here, but I'll take your word for it. Today we want to talk about brokers, being a broker, what brokers experience, what's the difference between a broker and an agent. And I got a confession to make, Jenny. I'm year and a half, 2 years I've been in the real estate business. I'm not a realtor, nor is anyone here on the staff by design. But we, obviously learn quite a bit. We do a deep dive into real estate in this job at the association. And when I came here, I didn't know there was any difference between agent and broker. In fact, I thought broker was just, a sexier name for an agent, but that's not the case, is it?
No, it's not the case. There's extra education. You have to work under a broker for a couple of years before you as an agent can become a broker. And you can be a broker working for another agency and you'd be a broker associate.
Broker associate. Okay, gotcha. All right, before we dive into all that, I want to learn a little bit more about you. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Indiana, Indianapolis.
Oh, the big city, huh?
Yes, but I moved when I was 4. And then we subsequently moved 17 times while I went through school. 17?
Military involved here?
Well, we don't really know. My dad said he worked for the phone company. It's become questionable over the years. But
interesting.
CIA
but
is what I'm thinking.
We did move a lot, and he retired before he was 50 and hasn't worked since. So
wow, cut me a slice of that.
No kidding, right?
So Indianapolis, that's a great city. I've been there just once or twice. I was there for the Super Bowl, 10 years ago. The Patriots were playing the Giants. It wasn't a good outcome for us Patriots fans, but that's okay. You ever heard of Zionsville?
Nope.
No, that's right out. It's a suburb of Indy where I have spent a little bit of time, and it's a beautiful area. You ever been there, Jerry, to Indy?
I've never been there. No. Closest I've probably been is Missouri.
Missouri? That's
which is also it's closest.
Okay. So never to Indy.
Nope.
So you grew up in a number of places.
I did, mostly in Florida. Different parts of Florida: Orlando, Sarasota, Cape Coral, Southwest Florida. Mostly in that central to Southwest Florida area. I lived in California and Chicago, 3 schools in 5th grade in 3 states. So it was kind of an interesting 1978.
Yeah, that is interesting. So how did you happen to get into real estate?
I'm guessing part of it had to do with moving all of the time. Part of it is I could learn to talk to a wall. When you move that much, you learn to make friends very quickly. And so when we moved down here, I was fortunate enough, I had graduated high school, we moved down here, and I started working as a receptionist at a real estate company on Sanville. And I was 17 at the time, and I was leaving for college in January. And the owner of the company suggested that I get my real estate license to help him out. And as every 17-year-old that says someone will pay for it for you, I said, okay.
I'm in, yeah.
So I went, got my license, quickly got passed the test, and started working for him, mostly handling rentals. And my first 10 years of my career was mostly in property management.
Huh, that's got to be an interesting
It is a
aspect.
thankless job, and the people who do it should get lots of credit because there's no calls about, hey, you're doing a great job. It's, I don't have enough silverware.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's an interesting issue to have to deal with. But, I mean, you've seen all sides of the real estate business then, for sure.
Yes, I've done rentals, property management, sales, brokerage. I was a manager at my previous firm for 14 years. With my partner that I opened Cornerstone with, I subsequently bought him out a couple of years ago, but we worked together for about 25 years.
Gotcha. All right. So how many agents work for you?
About 70.
70. That's a lot. That's out of one office?
Correct. Oh, I'm in Fort Myers, right off of Summerlin and Cypress Lake.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's a good size office. Is that's on the bigger side, right, compared to?
Yeah, we're local. We're a hyper local focused company. So most of our agents have been in the business for several years. Our average agent's been in the business over 10 years. We have some newer agents that we've brought on from technology. Our office has really grown organically. I don't send out mailings. I don't recruit. Our office has grown from the agents in our office based on our culture and the environment in the office.
Interesting. So when you opened up, became a broker, this is your first agency as a broker owner, right?
Correct.
Yeah. How does it feel? How does it feel different for you?
Well, we decided to open the office in 2007, which was the height of the real estate crash.
Sure, sure.
So as everyone said to us, you're opening a brokerage now? And for us, it turned out to be the best time because things were slower. So it was a great time to build brand, product, tools for agents, things like that. So we started our office with 3 of us, and it grew from there.
In 2007.
2007.
Literally, you went ahead. You didn't.
Yep.
You didn't listen to the naysayers.
Did not.
Yeah, and how did it go for the first year or 2 or 5?
Well, we had planned we would not be taking salaries or anything over the first year. We planned we would need that for the year, so we knew there was going to be downtime. Our goal was to have no debt, so second year we made sure we paid off anything that we owed when we opened the business, and then move forward. So we've stayed debt free and brought on agents and have I like to believe, a really great reputation across the counties. So
Very smart approach to starting something like that.
Yeah,
especially given that time.
You mentioned you are locally focused, and people say all politics is local, but truly, real estate is a local game, right? Because you're not selling the idea of a national, building or house. You're selling a specific house in a neighborhood, in a community.
we're actually selling lifestyle, and that's what we have focused on in our area. So when I say we are local and hyper local, we really focus on the Fort Myers and Cape Coral market. We don't focus a lot down in Naples, Estero, Bonita. We've really tried to stay in the northern Lee County. All of our agents really know their area. Sometimes you can get spread out over all these counties, and it's really hard to really know all the nuances. I mean, the difference between west of McGregor and east of McGregor is significant. And as an agent, you may or may not know that if you're coming up from another part of town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems to make sense that you're going to become real experts in a defined area as opposed to, as you say, spreading out to other counties where there might be temptations because maybe there's some potential there for a big listing, but you keep it right here local.
We do listings outside of the area. A lot of people have relationships that they want to use the person they've known for 15 years, regardless of where their office is located. But primarily, our focus is in this this Lee County market here.
Drilling down a little further, what specific areas do you tend to sell in more? What sections of the area?
We have quite a dominance in the historic McGregor district.
Beautiful.
And we also have an agent who really has kind of commandeered the Gateway area as well. We also have agents in Cape Coral that have started taking over there. We have a property management wing of our division that has really been successful in that realm in Cape Coral as well.
Was all of the McGregor development, was that all spurred by Edison and Ford?
Back in the day, yes. There's a book actually called The Three Uncommon Friends that people should read if they want a little history on Southwest Florida. And it talks about Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Firestone, who really pioneered our area here.
All right. If you're listening from outside the area or you don't happen to know this, Thomas Edison and Henry Ford had winter residences in Fort Myers, right off McGregor. Is it Boulevard?
McGregor Boulevard, correct.
Yeah, and it's just a beautiful area now of historic homes. So most of those homes there were built in the 20s, 30s?
30s, 40s, and 50s. There are some Frank Lloyd Wright drawing homes that have been really historic down there that have taken shape. The beauty of that historic district is the city is really strict on enforcing, kind of keeping the look and feel of that area. And that's what makes it so unique. You know, McGregor's lined with palm trees pretty much from start to finish. The sidewalks, you can go right into downtown. But all the streets, it's a real neighborhood, and all of the houses don't look the same, which is really unique around here.
It's just beautiful. I love that area. And the McGregor royal palm trees that it's so famous for, those were planted by Edison or...
Back in the day. And now they're replaced by the city as they get disease and things like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you're going to bring a visitor to the area, McGregor is just a beautiful ride to go on. How often do you get over to the Ford in Edison, the Edison Museum?
Well, we've had our holiday party there the last 2 years, pre-COVID. They have a beautiful area out back there that's undercover, and you can sit out on the water and you can bring live music in, certain vendors. So it's a really nice setting to have a holiday event right by the river. It's beautiful. And so we encourage people to go there as often as possible. I think people who live here, I know people who've never been there that live here because they just think, oh, it's just this. But when you look at it, if you go there, I mean, Edison has a laboratory in there that you can walk through.
Right.
And if you look back on the history of this city, it's amazing how much technology has changed in just that little amount of time. And for anybody who cares about what's happened in the past, it's a really beautiful, and the botanical gardens are spectacular.
Yeah, not just the history of the city, but the world. I mean, when you look at Edison's impact, motion pictures and light and phonographs, all that stuff. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, the banyan tree there near the entrance to the laboratory is just something to behold, isn't it?
Yes. So is the one downtown in front of the courthouse.
Yeah.
So two of the oldest banyan trees in the city.
They're very cool. There's a section of, I was down in Naples recently and I happened to wander off into a neighborhood and there were banyan trees everywhere, obviously intentionally.
Probably moorings in Park Shore. So that would be South Naples.
Yeah. It was very nice. Very nice. So let's talk more about the role of a broker, but we're going to take a very quick break before we do that, and if you don't mind coming back with me to discuss the role of brokers, we will appreciate it. And so we'll be right back after this quick message.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos, Director of Membership, and you're listening to the Royal Palmcast.
Hi, I'm Adriana Torres with Stage and Amaze, and you're listening to the Royal Palmcast.
Hi, this is Jenny Moorhead with Cornerstone Coastal Properties, and you're listening to the Royal Palmcast.
You buy insurance for your car and for your home. Why not for your business? Hi, I'm Kevin Besser, your Director of Public Policy. RPAC is the political arm of the Realtor Association, advocating for realtors and issues important for homeowners. In other words, insurance for your business. We need your help and support to protect your business and the rights of property owners. All it takes is $20 to insure your business and to protect the rights of homeowners. For more information or how to invest, please contact me at kevin@rpcra.org.
Have you ever wanted to write for a professional production or be on camera, reporting on real estate related topics? Are you a member in good standing with the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association? Well, here's your chance to shine. We're looking for new talent who think they have what it takes to participate in video segments or other media production for the association, upcoming events, classes, special projects, and podcasts. We need members who can provide subject matter, script writing, appear in videos, and more. We rely on professional level commitment, and we're big on deadlines. We need volunteers who can consistently meet or beat deadlines on any project to which they commit to keep our program schedule on track. Although this is purely voluntary, it's a wonderful opportunity to get your name out there and perhaps even build your business. If you can provide topical and engaging story ideas that would be of interest and value to our members, if you're able to submit written scripts regularly and on time, if you're an RPCRA member in good standing who's interested and think you have what it takes, we want to hear from you. Follow us on the RPCRA Facebook page and read your Member Weekly newsletter for a link to the application and information forms. Once we receive your completed forms, we'll follow up with you. We'd love to see or hear samples of your work on camera, on microphone, or in print. So please be sure to include samples or links when you apply. We may invite you to attend an on-camera audition session in our Fort Myers studio. For additional information, email shows@rpcra.org. Thank you and good luck.
Welcome back to the Royal Palmcast. I'm Jim Sanville, along with Jerry Johnson.
Hello.
And Jenny Moorhead. Jenny, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Still doing great, huh?
Still doing great.
All right. We're talking about real estate brokers today and their role, what the challenges are that they're up against every day. And so why don't you just walk me through a typical day, if there is such a thing, or a typical week? What's that look like for you, Jenny?
Every day is different. It's almost like being in the ER every day. You're constantly putting out fires or helping, assisting, guiding, offering suggestions. I have agents who call and text, well, probably up to about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I tell them my phone is on, I'm here. A good crisis never happens between 9 and 5. So as a good broker, you want to be available for your agents and help them through any problem they might be having. And given the market and how busy our market is right now, it's even more important because you can't wait till the next day to submit an offer because you lose it. And then your client misses out, and then they're angry with you, and then the agent's angry with you as the broker because you weren't there to help them. So it's really become much busier than it has in the past. But you try and do what you can. So it's kind of like herding cats and keeping everybody in line. But I'm fortunate because most of the agents I have in my office have been in the business for a long time. So usually they know how to handle the crisis. It's just more, they want reassurance. Am I doing this right? I don't want to do anything wrong. I don't want to jeopardize my client. I don't want to do something I shouldn't be doing. How should I word this to best protect everyone? Those kind of things.
Without divulging any personally identifiable information, can you give me an example of a crisis, one or two examples?
We had a seller who decided he wanted to get out of his listing agreement, and we knew he had been communicating with the buyer directly. So we were certain he was trying to do that, in which to cut out both the other agent the buyer had been working with, and our agent.
After much of the work had been done.
Correct. And so we unfortunately had to get an attorney involved and enforce the contract. But my call was to the other agent who was on the transaction, who I knew well, and explained, I just want you to know what's going on with your buyers. I don't know for sure if this is the case, but we received this call from the seller trying to get out. I know they've been talking. And, one of the beauties of being in this business for the last 35 years here is I know a great deal of the realtors that are working here. So having those relationships and just being able to call her and say, hey, just want to give you a heads up. She was appreciative. She works for another agency, but I'm there to help everybody in the transaction. So we had to enforce it. We ended up enforcing it, and we're supposed to be closing in a couple of weeks, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, this is a fresh crisis.
This is a fresh crisis, yes. This was only in the last 30 days. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What other kind of things do you come up against?
We've had sellers that there's been a lot of seller remorse right now. So there's been sellers that have sold their home and realized, where am I going to move? And they want out of the contract, and trying to explain to them, you can't necessarily do that. You might want to consult an attorney. So, we try and advise our clients as best we can, because there's 4 parties involved. You've got a real estate agent on one side, real estate agent on the buyer's side. You've got a buyer, you've got a seller. They've paid for inspections, appraisals, and suddenly now the seller's like, I don't want to go. So we've seen a little bit more of that. Multiple offer situations have become the craze right now. So advising clients on how to best position themselves to make their offer more attractive without jeopardizing or risking their deposit. A lot of buyers are moving to saying they'll pay cash, even though they're getting a mortgage, to avoid the financing contingency, understanding that they might lose their deposit if for some reason they can't get the financing. But most of the buyers are educated enough to know the risks. But we're trying to help people understand this is the best positioning that you have right now.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, my parents sold a house, and just before closing, which had been scheduled, the buyer lost his job. And so my mother had picked out the curtains for the new place and everything. So a couple of transactions didn't occur as a result of that. There's always going to be those downstream implications with real estate. So do you counsel people before you take a listing? Are you sure you want to sell?
Most of our agents do. They're pretty seasoned and explain, this is the process. Please understand. Do you have a place to go? Do you know what your exit strategy is? And most of them think they do until it happens. And right now, if the house is priced well, it's in good condition, it's in a good location, it's selling. I mean, on average, we have about 14,000 listings between Lee and Collier County.
Wow.
There were 4,028 as of yesterday. So it's historically low. And pending sales are outpacing new listings about 2 to 1 right now.
Do you expect a lot of pent-up demand for sales listings to hit the market?
Well, we don't know. They're speculating that once season is over, the people that may be leaving to head back home, that won't be back down till season, may list their properties. And in this kind of mid-COVID era where some are comfortable, some are not comfortable, those people who don't want people in their house may list after they leave.
Yeah.
So.
So getting back to your tasks that you perform as a broker, you're a leader in your organization, certainly, and that entails being a good leader in many respects. But how is being a real estate broker, a leader in the real estate business, different from being a leader in some other industry? What makes it unique?
I would say more of it's about laws and changes to contracts, mentoring, training on new technology. I mean, real estate's evolving every day, and there's different nuances to that. So we really try to keep our agents up to date on different changes that are happening in the area, changes in the market, changes in the environment. Every business has its own nuance, but, with real estate, you've got people's lives. Like, it's their house, it's where they're moving, it's long-term, and it's a legal contract. It's something that people have to follow certain timelines, deadlines, extensions. If you're going to miss a deadline, money's at risk. So I don't know that it's completely different from a lot of businesses, but it's different in the fact that you're really trying to help people take the next step in their life. And you're more a counselor. Sometimes I feel like I'm counseling people more than I'm selling real estate.
Yeah, you've got to be part therapist, part lawyer,
yeah,
part
we wear
accountant.
Handyman. You want to be the go-to. Where do I go to get this fixed? Who do I go to get this taken care of? What association manages this residence? Getting all of those details together, and with the change in real estate and everything that's going on, one of the things you want to be is you want to be the go-to for your client. And that's how you keep repeat customers.
So are most of your clients from referrals, most of your listings?
Yes. Yes.
I think nationally it's about half of listings are referrals, but you do better than that, huh?
Yeah, our office is probably about 70+%. Most of our agents here have relationships with people that they've had. I have one agent who's done 7 transactions with the same family over the last 25 years. And, we always tell the story is the first time you meet them and you sell them their condo, their seasonal condo, that becomes the first visit. Once they are down here for a little while, then they'll move to maybe a twin villa, which we don't call them duplexes down here. We call them twin villas because it sounds better.
I guess I live in a twin villa, Jerry.
Yes. So then they'll buy that. So then they go to the next step. Then they'll go to their single family home. So there's the third sale.
Yeah.
Then as they get older and all the family has grandkids, they want a bigger home. So they'll buy their bigger home for the family to come visit. Then as they get aged, they want to go back down to a smaller area. Then they'll go back to that condo where it's completely maintenance free. So you can have 7 transactions out of one family if you continue to communicate and be the go-to person.
So you can plot the life cycle of a client based on experience as to how you market to them, because we know that after X number of years, they're probably going to want to step up to this kind of property or downsize to that kind. So I assume you're proactive about going after those clients for repeat business.
If more agents were more proactive, they wouldn't have to work as hard. But what you find is so many agents move on to the next after the sale. And the key to relationships is continue to communicate, provide information, provide update, let them know what's going on in their neighborhood. Everybody wants to know what the neighbor's house sold for, even if you're not looking to sell. So keep communicating with the people that you've got relationships with. They already know and trust you. Why give them a reason to go somewhere else?
That's really strong advice. We've had some of the best realtors in the Fort Myers area here in the studio, and I've heard the similar thing from most of them. It's so important to maintain those relationships because it's not just a transaction. It is a lifetime relationship.
Correct.
Yeah, good stuff. I could go on and on and on, Jenny. I have a lot more questions, but I'm going to ask you if you'd be willing to do a couple more shows with us, perhaps.
Sure.
We can do a deep dive on some of the other aspects of being a real estate broker. So you'll want to tune in for that in subsequent weeks. But first, we're going to get to my favorite part of the program. Jenny, I think I warned you about this. It's called the Lightning Round. The Lightning Round is where we really get to know you as a person. I mean, we all know Jenny, the broker, Jenny from the block, but we don't know Jenny, the person. We're gonna get to know you a little bit better now. So what we're doing is looking for soundbite responses to my questions. It's a big deal when we do the Lightning Round. Jerry has to get up early, drives from Cape Coral early in the morning. He did this morning.
It's a big deal.
He goes up to Lehigh Acres. Quite a drive, really. And he gets the questions for the Lightning Round, which are on official game show host 3x5 index cards.
Oh, boy.
We keep these locked in a Supra box in Lehigh Acres, and Jerry has retrieved the box with the questions. Jerry,
boy, that's an old school Supra box right there.
Yeah, we don't mess around here. Well, we have all the good stuff to our members because our members are the best. So
all right, Jerry's got the questions. Lightning Round. This is awesome. This is going to be fun. Get to know you. Got all of them in here, Jerry. Yep. Pretty sure. There we go. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
You're quite a sport for doing
Bring
this, Jenny.
it.
All right. Where would you live if not in Florida?
Australia.
Australia. You've been there?
I have.
Wow.
Yep.
That was one of the most lightning fast responses we've ever had.
No kidding. Huh? Down under.
Yep. It was a beautiful place to live and visit. So, and what's crazy is my dad, when I was in a junior in high school, he had an opportunity to leave to go to work there, and I pitched such a fit because I was a snotty 16, 17-year-old child.
I'd heard that about you.
Yeah. And said, okay, that's fine. I'll go live with my friends. And he did not take the job as a result, and I forever regret. So.
Well, we move on. All right, Lightning Round. This one is multiple choice, and you've lived in a number of places, so this will be interesting. Is it you guys, yous, or y'all?
You guys.
You guys. Wow, that's kind of a northern thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe Midwest.
You've been all over.
Yeah.
Everywhere but the South, I guess. All right, what's your guilty pleasure? Something you typically don't reveal.
Oh, I don't know that I haven't. Everybody knows me like a book. It's red wine, but there's
Jerry
no
and I
guilty
don't.
pleasure.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Red wine.
Red wine.
Red wine.
Red wine.
Red
Red
wine.
wine.
There's a
Isn't
song
that a
about
song?
that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is. Jerry, you want to
Yes.
cue that up
yes,
on the
No.
Net record? All right. Okay. Now tell me about some of your favorite things, your favorite TV show.
We don't watch a lot of TV, so that's, I watch financial stuff when I'm watching TV. That's
you go.
really about it. We don't do a lot of TV.
That works. Favorite food?
Italian.
Italian. Any kind of Italian? What's one particular?
Any type of Italian.
Anything.
I'm mostly Italian. So
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Your favorite book?
Well, right now it's The Accidental Presidents, but I was a Big Short and Snowball fan, so they're mostly financial stuff. But this one's The Accidental Presidents.
All right. Fair enough. Your favorite form of recreation?
Boating and running.
You're in the right place. Changing the subject here. Socks with sandals, yes or no?
No.
Negative. Negative on the socks.
Another very fast response there.
Bad
Even
look.
if they're black socks?
That's even worse, I think. I don't know. That's a fashion citation waiting to happen.
All right. Which celebrity, Jenny, have you been told you most resemble?
Eva Longoria.
Ah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that most of my friends call me JMO, so
J-Mo.
when
say.
you did the Jenny from the Block, everybody,
That's funny. That's a nickname I call my daughter, actually. Her name's Jalen, and I call her J-Mo.
Yeah,
Huh, interesting. All right. Do you do any imitations, Jenny?
I do not.
Okay. I don't believe you. But all right. I have in my hand the last lightning round question. You get one bucket list item. What is it?
I don't know that I have a bucket list, honestly. I just kind of, when I want to do something, we go do it.
You just do it.
We just
All right.
do it.
I
Maybe
love
back
that.
to Australia.
I love that. She doesn't have a bucket list. She has a to-do list.
We just do
Ooh,
it.
I love
that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That's a good way to live, I think. Hey, Jenny, I want to thank you for carving out some time from your very busy day to come in to the studio with us today.
Well, thank both of you for having me.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure. And I want to thank everybody here at the Royal Palmcast for all they do to support us. Jerry, thank you.
Oh, Jim, thank you. Too.
I don't know if I say thank you
It's
enough.
like a love
You
fest
too.
over there.
It is. It's
It's a very strong mutual respect.
yeah.
And
it's-
appreciation.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
It's a bromance.
I guess
You
so.
can call it that.
The
You
Jim
can
and
call it
Jerry.
that,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Sup,
bro.
brah? All right. And anyway, thank you to everyone, especially Beata Jones, our CEO, who could not be more supportive of what we're doing here in the studio this day and every day. And I also want to point out to you that we have lots of great content available for free on our social media apps. You can check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're on Instagram, IGTV. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube in a big way. Lots of great free content there, of course, including some recent webinars that we put out. So I would direct you toward those if you're interested in learning about real estate in depth. We've got all the information here. And again, Jenny, thank you. Thank you, Jerry. And we really appreciate your being here. And if you want to get in touch with us, send an email to shows@rpcra.org, shows@rpcra.org. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Jim Sanville saying goodbye for now, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Royal Palmcast. Be sure to listen again each week, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app or YouTube. And be sure to check out our sister podcast, Realtor Riff Rap, and our video news show, Realtor's Corner, which can be found on the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association Facebook page and YouTube channel. For information about sponsorship opportunities for this and other RPCRA productions, email us at shows@rpcra.org. This has been a production of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association.